Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Agnelina and today I'm here with my new knitting podcast episode. It's been a while, so I have a lot of things to show to you, a lot of things to talk to you, so I hope this will be an interesting one. So grab your drink, grab your knitting and let's spend some time together. So it's been a while. So this year started quite chaotically for me with my partner, boyfriend, fiancé. We found new jobs in Denmark, so we moved from Norway to Denmark in Copenhagen area. First we got a temporary apartment and now we just recently moved into like long-term rental. So it was quite difficult to move long distances, countries, changed, set up everything, started a new job. It was an experience. That's a good word, I think, for it. And yeah, so the last time I filmed, we still were living in that temporary apartment. I remember being real tired after work, and yeah, I filmed one of the episodes, but I felt like it was really low on energy and I never rewatched it or edited it, so I decided to drop it out and continue as it never happened. So the last thing was that I finished this Knitty Committee top by Lilla France. I really adore her designs, really adore her as a designer, but I never knitted her pattern before. But when I saw this top, I decided that I wanted to test it, and I was lucky one to get it. And I thought that 2 months for the test knit will be enough. I can knit a top I thought in the month, so just 2 months period, it's perfect. Just a little bit to select yarns, swatching and etc., and a little bit more, just have a buffer zone. And I almost I managed, but I finished it in the last week and I'm a bit stressing out because I started at that period a new job and it was just slowing me down, and it was really small millimeter needle knitting, so I have a lot of stitches. I feel like it's a really beautiful top, totally worth it, but I was getting a bit stressed by the end. Will I finish in time? Can I do it? So I did it, I finished, I took photos, I sent my feedback. So I recommend it. But I am not wearing this top, even if I finished it 2 months ago, but it is a bit too short. And it is too short because I failed with I don't know how to say it. Did I really feel the guy swatching or not? I think it was just, it grew wider and got shorter, because I'm pretty sure I knitted it at least that much longer than it is, and now it is in maybe for someone will be perfect length, and now I'm sitting with my skirt. Actually, this is the first time. I should wear this combination more often. I just wore the skirt yesterday and I decided that I want to wear this top today, and it goes with the skirt and I didn't need it. But when I was really imagining to wearing this to the office with my more officey pants, and then I think I had just maybe centimeter sometimes of the stomach area is showing normally, and then I feel like always tucking in and down, and I just cannot comfortably wear it, and I got stressed out that I will not be able to finish, if everything will be alright, will it fit me alright. So I feel like I still, by the end of the test knit, I had a bit more stress about this knit, and since I need to go back and fix it, I don't want to do this. And I guess my 2 summer tops, like truly cotton summer tops, both of them require to prolong it, and I was thinking that I need to do fix it up, maybe film a video to motivate myself and others just to fix those small things. So I was just, I can include that and that and that in that video, but maybe I should do it. Because this top is so adorable. I wanted it for so long time. I started knitting something with this yarn a few years. Okay, first probably about this yarn, some of this yarn 4 years ago, and I crochet a top, so only 2 balls. This is Sandnes Garn Mandarin Petit 100% cotton yarn. So I crochet a top. We had, but I had, I was not. I don't know, I didn't have a lot of knowledge at the time about gauges and etc., so it was too floppy. Maybe if I would go down with the hook size for that hat, or maybe use, I don't know, some, is it with starch or with something you can make it less floppy, with something. I think you can soak it in and let it dry and just hold the sheet better. So maybe it was possible to save it, but at some point I didn't have all the knowledge, so I decided to frog it and try to knit a top. Then I bought more yarn to knit a top, and it was, I think, maybe neckline. Since I was improvising it, it was way too wide, and I just thinking that it won't look good. Then I decided to frog it again when I just almost finished the yoke, and then it was always like, do I want to knit it now or knit it later? So this yarn was in my stash, so I was really happy to be able to use it. Of course, it was different dialogues already, but I think it doesn't seem that much. Maybe I can see that maybe there is a small line, but I think it is more because while it was on the head, I may wear it for maybe 2-3 days, but I was in the sun, and maybe once was I think it got maybe sun bleached, because I'm pretty sure it got wet and it was dried on the sunshine. So I was thinking that it could be not different, even it was different dialogues, but it could be that sun bleached, and I was, if the lines would be too much, I will try maybe the top all sun bleached, but I think it looks fine. I didn't notice until I remember that there are different batches of balls I bought this yarn, so this was really nice and beautiful. But yeah, so this is a beautiful top. I might knit it again. It has puff sleeves, simple short sleeves, or the long sleeves. So I was thinking maybe knit for the autumn time. This was more for layering in summertime, so maybe for more like fingering weight long sleeve. I think top would be really useful in the climate I live in, because I feel like in Denmark I need layers or really thin sweaters, because I don't think that they have really cold winters. It of course also depends if the apartments and offices, and my office is quite warm, I feel like, because it's a little bit like greenhouse has effect, because we are on the top floor and we have also ceiling lights, so if it is sun shining it will be warm. So I am afraid that I only need cardigans, layering pieces, and really thin fingering weight sweaters. My boyfriend really is trying to distract me today, but I think I was mentioning that I feel like I need only cardigans, thin sweaters, maybe tops to layer things out and play it out, and I think that would be enough for the winter time. And even summertime I was wearing, well, I was also having vacation in Canada, so in the mountains, Rocky Mountains, so sweaters useful in summertime too, in my opinion. Maybe not the thickest sweaters, but they are still useful, and I lived in Norway, so I'm just used to always needing a sweater. But yeah, so I think this stuff will be really useful, but I feel like I need it prolong it so I could wear it, because I do not choose to wear this one and an upper top, so I believe maybe I should, until it's still summer, to do it like fix it up maybe video. And then I would have 2 tops which I hopefully would love to wear it, and I would choose it to wear it, because now I knitted one also short sleeve woolen top, and I wore it quite a lot even in the summer times, because if it is like 16 degrees Celsius and I'm just it is not hot enough maybe for the normal top, but I know that I wouldn't get cold if it is woolen, so I was wearing them a lot. So by my boyfriend's distraction, the first time I forgot to mention about how beige everything looks is because when we moved into new place, we bought a sofa, and I want new, like more colorful, like accent pillows on this, but I don't want to buy it. I would like to make it, and I'm really aspiring it to make maybe sunflower coasters, and then maybe make sunflower pillowcases. I saw some on the Pinterest, they look so beautiful, so adorable. I would like to do it, but I think doing it is way more fun. Or maybe try embroidery and make, I don't know, I imagine like navy blue, like with, I don't know, silver or bronze thread, or just some maybe like, I don't know, it could be like night motifs or something like that. It could be beautiful too. or like prepare like accent pillows for 4 different seasons, so have like like sunflowers for, you know, summertime, and then something for more Christmas time, and I don't know, I have a lot of ideas, so we'll see what I will be making in the future. But this is a bit maybe too beige, but my only other accent pillows were like 2 white ones, because we had before like black sofa, and this needed something to brighten up, and now I just have beige sofa with white pillows, which doesn't do anything on it. And I have big fluffy blue pillow, but that also, I don't know, maybe it would work on, but I think like at least 2 same ones would be more beautiful to have on the sofa, or more like, I don't know, earthy tones or whatever, multiple ones. That would be beautiful. But for now, it looks clean frame here, and it is a bit messy around here. So I will show you more colors then. Beige top, beige sofa, everything is beige for now. So the next finished object is this cardigan, and this cardigan I knitted. This was my improvisation cardigan. I knitted it first time maybe 2 years ago. I called it Adya cardigan, and it had way too wide neckline, so I felt like it never fitted right with the tops. I felt like I need to, instead of having, you know, black cardigan which goes with everything, I felt it went through with almost nothing, because the necklines would look not that nice, because it was like real okay, not that open, but it just looks strange. And then it was a bit sleeves too short, and maybe body, it was maybe even too fitted, not too fitted, but it was a bit too small, too short, and I need to restart it. And since it was raglan, top down, and if you want to change how the neckline looks like, you need to throw everything out. So I restarted, and I knitted the yoke maybe 5 times until I found because my gauge changes, I changed how I do things. So overall, I was playing with it and playing with it and playing with it, but now I think the yoke is exactly how I want it to look like. But it is not perfect. But I know, yeah, I don't have energy, and I'm not thinking about fixing it, because I think it works. It will be, let's call it not mistakes, but design details. So the first design detail, which is I think quite common for other knitters to have like wide sleeves, and I usually knit them quite fitted, and I don't like wide sleeves. This is, it just goes in everything. I think it's really cozy, it's really nice, but I think I really often need to roll them up because it's uncomfortable for me. I think this is cozy look, but not practical, and apparently I was thinking that, you know, fitted sleeves like this, are they too long or not, but I can change them easily, and then, you know, maybe even roll up. So apparently I learned at the sweater that I do not enjoy wider sleeves, because for me, I guess fitted, but it is strange because I enjoy, or I decided that I need to do them shorter, and I really would like to do the bell sleeves, which is quite like opposite of what I'm used to, but I feel like really dramatic like bell sleeves, but you know, shorter, like up to here, not up to here. Maybe it would be really elegant, like design detail, and just enjoy it, because this one, it just, yeah, I feel like it goes in my way when I'm trying to do something, and yeah, and maybe it's not even that warm. But I was afraid, while I was knitting this cardigan, I decided that the sleeves cannot be too fitted, because you want to put cardigan on top of something. So if something else has a bit maybe bigger sleeves, it will be really uncomfortable if they are too fitted. And I think since I was redesigning with different gauge but the same maybe stitch counts on the beginning, I think maybe I ended up with wider sleeves than I was planning, whatever. And when I was calculating decrease rates, I don't think that I adapted it. I just picked up the number, and I was way too lazy after re-knitting this yoke for 5 times. I had no, I decided that, everyone hypes up, wider sleeves, so just let them be. If I get more fitted by the end of my decreases, it's okay. If they are not, that's totally fine too. But yeah, so sleeves, I think they are like regular like sleeves, but they're not elegant in my taste. They're not as comfortable for my taste, but they are just cozy and good cardigan to throw on, so it's okay. Another thing is, since I was really trying to knit a top-down sweater with button band immediately, because the first time I knitted this one, and this is my first cardigan which I knitted second time, so I don't have a lot of experience with cardigans, but I knitted it twice. So I decided to knit it immediately. And one of the times I needed to re-knit the yoke because I was knitting the button band was too short and it was crunching everything up, and it just was not looking good. So I was knitting, when I was going back and forth, I was knitting like twice. I think I took this one for, was it Champagne or Agnelina cardigan by Petit. So one of the online tutorials was, you start, knitting double knitted button band in both sides, and then, pick up stitches. So I picked up, I think, every stitch. For my cardigan, I think for that one, not every, I had number already calculated for my gauge with my yarn. This is drops Cotton Merino, this was for faulty badge, and I think maybe the faulty badge was because it bleeds a lot when I'm washing it, the color. And faulty badge was that they refunded my money, so this free cardigan, except buttons. And a lot of hours went into it. But yeah, but otherwise I really enjoyed this yarn, and it is not the warmest, but it's not the coldest too, so in a way I really like it. But at one point, I think when we were traveling, I was thinking that having maybe even, I understood like summer cardigans if you want to hide from the sun but you don't want to be hot, so it could be a wholly cotton, not warm at all cardigan. I thought that, ooh, that is a good idea to have in my collection. So maybe one day I will knit. Well, I need more cardigans because I feel like for this weather, this country I'm living in, cardigans would be so good, and this is the only one I knitted ever. And yes, another thing was I wanted to have this combination because I said I was starting knitting this top and this cardigan the first time, I know 2 or 3 years ago. So probably I bought yarn 3 years ago. I started knitting them maybe 2 years ago, and it was not working out, and it's still not perfect, but it's okay. It's totally fine. So yeah, so when I was knitting every time on the edge double knitted bottom band like twice, so for the, I think, reshaping that was perfect fine, but I think you would need a different pickup rate for the body, and I continued doing like original one. Which meant that I have, I don't know if it is seen or not, maybe I will stand up a little bit on the sofa, but I have this, it's stretched out, but if I want to fix it, I need to reknit the whole body of this cardigan, and I just don't have patience for it. And as I said, this is design feature. It's not a mistake, it's a feature. It's not a bug, it's a feature. So I decided that it's okay. And of course I also said that the first time it was also shorter, but I was maybe thinking that it's also too small, so I made it all of it bigger. And I think if I could merge the first version with the second version, I think that would be a perfect cardigan, because this one is also not as good as I was maybe expecting and having in my mind. And at the same time, it was a bit disappointing because I think I finished those in a row. The top was a bit too short, this cardigan, and I finished it out. I think maybe I washed it, blocked it, and then I noticed that I have this strange, not strange, but that my button band is stretching out the cardigan to get longer and shape those W shape, I don't know, in front. And yes, I was a bit disappointed that it felt like what I'm knitting is not turning out, and it is my maybe 4th year of knitting garments, and I felt like I was failing. But yeah, I decided that it's the knitting. It's sometimes you have like total hits, like perfect knits, and sometimes it will turn out just, yeah, it's okay, even if it is a good designer, if it is a good yarn or pleasant yarn, it doesn't matter. Sometimes something would not work, and it's okay. I can do, because the third thing, so the third thing I finished up is my pair of socks, Harry Potter socks. So yeah, so the socks are, I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good, and then on the foot you can have, I don't know, would I need to cross my foot? So mischief managed. And I felt that the first time I saw these in Harry Potter knitting book socks, I felt that they are so delicate, so adorable, so intricate, so interesting. And I was thinking that I wanted to start knitting socks, but the last time I knitted socks was 14 years ago. I knitted maybe 3 pairs of DK weight, and they were too big, too loose, and I felt like that, and all my life all the knitted socks were DK weight. They are thicker, they are too bulky, they are not elegant, they are not beautiful. Well, they can also be beautiful, but they were not elegant, they were not delicate. I felt like they are always bulky, they are never fitting in the shoes because they are so bulky. And then I just think that, and it's, you know, knitting socks is way less fun than knitting garments. And I was thinking, but then I started knitting, I started watching all these YouTubes, and I started seeing socks, and I noticed that socks can be also intricate, delicate. They could just have perfect fit and not be, you know, just excess weight on something. Now, of course, to get to sock knitting, I picked up one probably of the most difficult patterns, but I managed. And the fun thing, since it was a book from the library, it was in Danish. So I knitted this sock pattern because it was mostly, it was easy, like cast on that amount of stitch, knit it in the ribbing, that is easy to see from the photo, that is easy to then, you know, just follow the and then follow the chart, color work chart, which was also really easy to understand. In the color work chart, they even on the first row they wrote where are those increases, so to increase to, I think, to up to 80 stitches. And to get the gauge plus minus the correct gauge, I needed to go down to 2mm needles, and this was with Filcolana Arwetta sock. Okay, and the sock was in Filcolana Arwetta yarn in colors, I think, burgundy and oats cream. I don't know, check my Ravelry. I have numbers there, or even in the description I usually add these things. But yeah, so those were, and I was really afraid. So the first sock I was knitting, I would knit, I think after 2 rounds of color work, I tried to put it on, and it was really difficult to go through the heel. So I would knit 1 round of color work, trying to always do like this with the flows when you change your color, to make it then long enough, and then just after almost each row I was trying on the sock if it is big enough, if I can still fit through the heels, and then just on the body. At some point I stopped measuring every single row, but that was maybe why the first sock took me way longer than the second. Even, you know, second sock syndrome, second socks should take longer, but I felt like I knew that I'm doing, so in a way it was more boring, especially this part. That was the most boring part. So that was also funny because everything, like this was, every single row is different, and here, yes, it is repeating, but it is going like in the same row, maybe the same chart with this one, so every single row was different, but then you can, you know, calculate which row you are, sort of from this side. And for this part, it was separate chart, not joined with this chart. It was just short one, and it got boring trying to follow this one because I already done it. And I think in one row is like twice and maybe 12, or I think it was around 12 or 16 rows repeat. So it was just, I know, 5-6 times you repeat the same thing, like twice. So it's around 20 times on one sock, 20 times on another sock. So this was the most boring part for me. And all these letters and etc. It was like every row was different. So you, oh, and then this row, and then on this row. So you just feel more just advanced in the chart. While the small one, you just dun 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 dun, all these, you know, a few rows. So it was way more boring to this part than the letters. And yes, having Danish instructions. When you are not used to knitting socks and you're trying to figure it out how the fuck the heel is knitted, it was not that easiest, but I managed to figure it out. I found, I think, different instructions because of the, was it this eye of the something eye heel? I don't think that it is seen, but it is like second slip stitch, but you are reverse where it is, so it is bit more, I don't know, interesting. And then yeah, just go. Yeah, and another thing is with colorwork socks, which every line is already calculated. I think this sock has 2 sizes, so this has also the bigger one. But since I didn't know if it felt like my gauge was too big for the pattern. So I had got to 2mm needles, but I still knitted the smaller size. So I think this is like really good socks, even like for color work, where, you know, human lengths can be different lengths. The foot can be really different, like, you know, for even in between women's, my maybe size is 38, 39, and my friends or my aunts is around above 40, 41, 42. So of course the length of the foot is different. So I was really, well, I was not expecting for the sock fit as good as it is. And I would say that I was really afraid that I was getting wider with my gauge than it was recommended, because it was really small gauge for the color work. But I think for maybe my foot here is a bit wider than it's supposed to be, and I think it's quite short, quite normal here. I think I have quite high instep or whatever, the heel around, so I don't think that any sock without this heel flap and gusset, without this triangle, would work. Like, I know short rows where I see it real small, I don't think that they would work on my foot. Maybe one day I will try it out, but I don't want to try it out for now, because I don't believe that they would be like, I think it would be really huge pulling on these edges around the heel, and they have this triangle, so I felt like this was a really nice design for such intricate color work, that everything was done really well. The sock is so good. So I finished right before our trip to Canada, and I wore them while sleeping 2 or 3 nights, I think, times. I already wore them, and I washed them. I wore them a few times. I don't have color sock blockers, but I believe these socks are still so beautiful, so nice. And I felt like this also Harry Potter. It's not just Harry Potter logo or whatever, because these looks really beautiful socks, but if you know nothing about Harry Potter, they wouldn't scream Harry Potter, right? But they are Harry Potter socks, because everything is just magical, beautiful, and yeah, those messages, and oh, I love them. I love this design. And at first I was thinking about knitting them like twice, like next pair, bigger pair for my boyfriend too, but I think then I would be on the 3rd and 4th sock syndrome. Because it's too much. Because for my boyfriend I was thinking because he was also more like to Ravenclaw house belonging, and I'm Gryffindor, so this is why I decided to go with the original color scheme, red and beige. Actually, when I saw this knitted, and I copied someone else's colors with this Arwetta when I saw that this is compatible, because the original yarn was really expensive, hand-dyed, and they weigh more than you needed. And plus shipping, import taxes, and etc. That I don't want to pay 100 euros for the socks. These were maybe 20 euros. How was Arwetta yarn? I don't remember now. So I was really happy that one ball of each were enough, at least for my size. But yeah, I was maybe expecting red to be more red. And when I was in the shop, but in the photo it looked more reddish. So maybe this, burgundy color is red enough. Because I think the color other in the shop when I was red, but not deep red. And I wanted deeper red, so I got this more, I don't know, wine red. But I think they're still beautiful. They're amazing. And I felt like these socks will be maybe my well, and when I was knitting these socks and I was thinking about them, I was not knitting them to wear them a lot. I was knitting them just to enjoy and have them in my collection. But they brought such a huge sock mojo. I started appreciating socks, because before that I just, who needs, yes, you need socks, like, practical, nobody's seeing them, you're just layering piece, etc. And then now I feel like, oh, it was so fun, and it's so fun to have beautiful socks. And now I was looking, I want chicken socks, I want socks with, I think I saw with tulips, I want socks, I want more colorful socks, I want more simple socks. Now I understand why to do intricate details on the socks, because it's not waste of time. Yes, you can just feel really fancy with your beautiful socks. And now I get it, because before it's just socks, just knitting simple, sock pattern, like I forgot how it's called just stockinette stitch, socks, and that's okay. You just can wear it, and you can also, just for one hand-dyed skein maybe knit, to one pair of the socks, and it is also really nice and beautiful, and just you don't need to do anything like with it, and it can be more quickly. And as I said, I want delicate socks. So yes, and since I was already planning to knit socks, I already bought this yarn last year. I'm trying to not overbuy things, and so all my yarn which I have would fit in one big box. But I try not to overbuy. So of course sometimes it overflows, but I feel like these days I'm quite good, because in those moving and then countries, and then changing apartments, I was thinking not to order too much, not to buy too much, because then you need more things to move, and it is heavy. So I was quite good at a little bit about stitch pressing, but not perfect. So one other thing, I started knitting this. I think this is for 52 weeks of socks. I found this book also in library, and since I was traveling to Canada, I just took some pictures and returned the book, because I couldn't take knitting book for instructions to Canada. So this was my plain knitting, I think, mostly done, yes, and now it is my train knitting to work. And this is Dear Björn socks from 52 weeks of socks, and it is beautiful. Yet again, and it is funny because again I didn't gauge swatch for my socks. I will show you. And okay, so when I was thinking about learning how to knit socks, I was thinking of learning, because the first time I was knitted like 15 years ago socks, all of them were top down, with heel flap and gusset from my grandmother's explanation, which was in few sentences, and then I just figured it out on my own, so I don't know, but now I think it is heel flap and gusset, especially when I knitted those. So I had some experience, but not a lot. And when I was hearing about people knitting toe up, and then you can use every single almost gram of your skein, especially if you split in two, and I decided, you know, if you knitted 2 of one, which is really fun, knitting 2 socks at once, because when I will be finished, I will be finished. Like, I don't have to knit second sock because both socks will be done. So I really love knitting 2 at once. The only problem is if you're failing on 2 socks. So if you need a frog, you need a frog 2 socks, not only one. That's the biggest downside. But I started with, again, 2mm needles. I think it was recommended 2.5, but my yarn, I felt like maybe it was thicker one by the weight, so I wasn't sure if I wouldn't go, you know, bigger needles, a thicker yarn would maybe go too much. And then I started, and then it looked like, oh, it was going really, will be as wide as these socks, are just totally enough. But then they really, the stitch pattern, because this is not blocked, it's really short enough, and I can fit it in, but I'm afraid that it will be small, but I don't know how much I want. Because for socks, I hear that you want a bit negative ease, but I don't know how much is, you know, how big is too big and how small is too small for socks, especially because I want, you know, nicely fitting socks. So this is really designed dear Björn. I believe they are so charming. This is easy pattern, and I really, and it has like simple stockinette side for foot, so you are not standing on some bumps. And now, but yeah, this pattern on knitting 2 at once, when I need to yeah, cross stitches. In some areas it is not as easy to do 2 at once, so I was thinking maybe I should just split them on 2 separate needles, because I had also wooden needles for traveling bought, and I prefer usually metal ones just to knit it. And it's way more secure not to break your needles when they are metal than wooden. Yeah, I prefer metal needles. Also, yeah, I just judge will be done. I just finished the heel, and this was slip stitch heel. I don't know how to call it. Yeah, this was like, I understood a regular heel from other people talking, and yeah, that eye of the porridge, I think my maybe gauge was too, I don't know, loose, not loose enough, but I don't see that much. And now I think with a little bit of bubbling, I cannot see that pattern, but I know what it is. But yeah, beautiful socks, nicely, which is funny because it's the same color scheme. But yeah, so the socks, and I bought this yarn. It is, yeah, okay, this. So this purple yarn is Silja superwash wool with nylon, which is sock yarn. I bought it while it was on discount, maybe 3 or 2 colors here on discount, and I decided, you know, for the first backed color socks can be in different colors, so I don't care that much if it like is good for my skin or not. But actually I'm trying really with this color, and just maybe sweater in this color would be beautiful too. I think it would look nice on me. But yeah, the beautiful purple socks coming in. Dear Björn from 52 Weeks of Socks. And apparently I'm sort of sock knitter now, even if I thought that garments are way more interesting. But moving forward, another knitting project I had in Canada is top. And at first I was thinking that I will be improvising myself to knit a top, because the idea was oh, okay. The idea came when I bought this yarn to knit a Christmas gift for a baby last year, that I decided that this color fits my eyes really nicely. It's so beautiful, it's so nice to look at. I should knit myself something in this yarn. So I bought more yarn for myself. And I decided that I wanted to try it out because I really loved how it looks, but more on other people. Because I had nothing similar in my Bordeaux. Just with knitting, maybe it's not the best to knit something new you never had and you don't know if you would like such piece. But I was thinking about like mock turtleneck, short sleeve top, woolen one. So in a way which would be practical, like for a layering piece, like in the winter time, to have something, if it is still hot, you're just taking off like sleeves, like cardigan, and then you're left only with the turtleneck, the mock neck, I think the short one, because I remember from my teenage years I really hated those long ones because I think most of them were strangling me, which is why I don't have that. And testing out with knitting is not maybe the best. So I decided that I want to knit myself, and I was thinking I will be just experimenting and just knitting myself such top, you know, I knitted, you know, tops too, I can improvise it. But since I was test knitting for Lilla Kate friends, and after test knit we can select, if you succeed at the test knit and provide a good feedback, you are getting 2 free patterns. So I decided to ask for tonight's top, which was almost exactly what I wanted in it, but on the bit thinner, smaller gauge. So I decided just, if I need recalculate, I can just use it as a base pattern. And I also selected the one more, which is really inspiring me, a Bordeaux top. I think I selected the long sleeve version. I will add a picture how it looks like because I believe it's so beautiful, so nice. So I really want to knit it, but I don't have yarn for it because you need to have mohair and I think fingering weight for it. So I don't have that combination because I don't have mohair in my stash. I recently bought one, but for another project. So if I have leftovers, maybe it would be enough. But I would need to buy yarn, and I was trying to first knit with the yarn I own. So yeah, so I bought this yarn around Christmas time to give myself a mock neck, and I decided that tonight top is almost exactly what I want. I just wanted it a bit more like not slim fitting, but more negative ease, 0 to negative ease. Because I think that original one, at least how Lily Kate France is styling, is a bit looser. And since my gauge was way too big, because I think, what is this, 27 stitch gauge, and I have around 21 gauge stitch. So I went to knit the first size of the top, and by my calculations, it should give me around 0 ease or negative ease top. And I think it's going nicely. I done bust darts, I'm pretty sure, but yes, with bust darts I was not able to do all of them as they are in pattern because you have to do a lot of them. And my rows are way higher. And yes, I needed to recalculate some rows, how many of them I am knitting because my gauge is way off. But I think it's turning out real good, and it is nice not to need to calculate every single thing, like everything. I just following mostly the pattern with my additions. Oh yeah, another thing which I didn't see on the black one, and I was on the plane and I needed to decide in maybe 10 minutes, not 10 minutes, but without any internet and seeing other examples of that top, what I want to do, only having a pattern. So on the sides it was like a chess pattern, like 2x2 cubes, and I didn't, well, maybe I would want it, but since I didn't notice it because of the first photo is the black one I was seeing, so you don't see details as much. So I was not into the mood for the chessboard, and I didn't have enough time to fall in love with it, so I wanted something else. But I was just, I am changing the pattern, but maybe it's nice to have some accent, but I don't know if I want checkerboard. So I decided to do a simple rip effect, which I think it's really beautiful, and I think it will play really nice, and just a bit of modification more to make this top mine, but to add some beautiful details, because yeah, Lilla Kate makes beautiful details on her knits. So I was inspired by her to do some modification, not simple stock knit stitch on the both sides under the arms, and I believe it will be beautiful when I finish it. But that was my second Canada knit, and it was so funny. Then the first day when I came in, my boyfriend went to the conference in Canada, Edmonton, and so after his conference I flew in too, and then so the last day, the cheaper flight was a day before to arrive, so I had like almost a day to myself in Edmonton, so it was real fun. I went to the I called it Capitol building, not Capitol, but Capitol building, but I think it is called Legislations building. It was so funny because nobody understood what building I mean, but it was really American main building of the town, or the whole country, how to call it, the Alberta main building with the legislations. And so I went to, I went there, I took photos, and I went to Fibre studio, and I'm not hiding this one because it was so funny when I went. And I wanted to pick up some Canadian yarn, and it was my first day, and I was just, oh, do you have enough yarn for the trip? So yeah, I didn't finish anything on my trip. But I decided to buy maybe sock yarn. I was mostly interesting, and I didn't know how much time, and I was almost wanting to buy more of the yarn, but real Canadian yarn, they said that they don't have really soft yarn, and it was quite scratchy, so I just took one for the which said that they are like true Canadian product in Canada. So this was like true Canadian yarn, and I picked up this color because it was so funny, because I touched this color multiple times and I understood that if I'm touching it, I think I want this one. And it was like, real Canadian yarn, and it was like sock yarn. This one was also the, I think this was sock yarn. And so it is one ply, 80% pure wool and 20% nylon, so it was a good sock yarn. I was thinking if I can make 2 pairs, maybe I should make one for my boyfriend too, to have a matching pair, maybe on my stockinette, but I still need to finish those socks to make sure, but I know that how to knit socks for myself, because first was just, Harry Potter, and they were really not flexible, adjusting anything in that pair of socks. I think everyone who wanted even not longer but thicker, they would add more stripes like here, like have like, I think the original one, also the larger size, had 3 stripes, but you can add 4 stripes or whatever. That was one of the area where you can like add with, but you can add with just knitting with a slightly thicker yarn, or thicker gauge or bigger needle size too. But yeah, so I decided one sock pair at the time, but I had this one, as a Canada, so it felt like my Canada color for my trip. It was just, I don't know, maybe dumb, not dumb. But yeah, this is I know, these things maybe will remind me my trip. Really, so we went into the Rocky Mountains. It was so beautiful. We camped without any telephone connection. We sort of saw the bear, but it was in the bushes, and other people in the same campsite said that they saw the bear, and then we saw the moving bushes, so we suspect that the bear probably saw us and hear us and didn't came closer. So we were in contact, but maybe we were not the main people knowing about this contact. Here, okay, I'm getting warm, so maybe I will take it off my cardigan. But yeah, so I bought this yarn, and I was looking at more. I was thinking maybe buy a sweater quantity, but it was my first day, so I was thinking maybe I will go to another store too. I never went to another store. It was some Fibre studio, I forgot the name, in Edmonton. So I bought this yarn, and I bought felting knit because I really wanted to try on felting. And then I saw this one. It was made in Canada, they packed, they were designed in Canada. I decided that I really wanted to try, and yes, I got, I think, the magnet inside as a gift. Yes, Little Blue Fibre Studio. So I got as a gift also a small thing, which is hitting now. Yes, some magnet holds some needles around so you wouldn't lose it. I think that this is more like for felting. But yeah, so the girl who owns that shop, she really enjoys felting, so there was a lot of fiber selection too. And she had a lot of this Canadian kits. And yeah, when I was buying true Canadian yarn, it was a bit too scratchy. I was thinking for the sweater, and I was thinking maybe I will go to another yarn store to select something more, something bigger, but I never went, so it was become my only my only yarny souvenirs, but I think it will be really fun to try something new. I really wanted for a long time, and it is a kit, so I will get felting needles to do something else. Because another thing was, I was thinking what to do with my some yarn leftovers. I was thinking maybe also do like coasters and felt them into maybe bubbles, and I was thinking that if it is bubbles, you still need to connect them, so maybe like felting them for like normal yarn leftovers would be fine. So let's continue with my acquisitions. So another thing in this period of time what I bought was that I went finally visit Knitting for Olive studio, and I bought some mohair to help together with this yarn, Viking yarn, white wool. Was it last year? I think last year I knitted my boyfriend a blue sweater from this yarn, and that blue sweater is so beautiful color, and this red was such a beautiful color. I decided that I want myself a like matching sweater, but not fully matching one. I'm in love with this color. This is perfect color. But when I knitted him his sweater, I noticed that it pills a lot, really a lot, and it is almost was impossible to keep it nice, beautiful. And I was thinking, what can I do to make it better? So I decided, and I also bought, I think, for his sweater I needed 10 balls, but for myself I bought 9, and we're almost the same size. So I was thinking, what stupid decision I made. And now I would have, if I'm getting, it would be different dye lot. So I was thinking of knitting a cable sweater, my first idea was, to help with the pilling, because I heard that, you know, having cables, intricate designs, it pills less. At the same time, I am afraid that it would be still felt, not be maybe as visible, and I was unsure if it can help enough. So I was thinking maybe frog this much. It wasn't a lot. It was, I started a really complicated design, and I really spent a lot of mental energy in it, but I still love this design. But I was thinking maybe just hold together this yarn. This yarn is also beautiful in itself, but it was a bit not as much as I expected. But when we checked, because I bought one of the balls in the store, I felt like it probably won't change color as much. But it was beautiful, because another color was really bright red, I felt, and this was beautiful. Was it this one? Or yes, wine red this color is. So I was thinking maybe I should just do with mohair strand, because usually people say that the mohair strand sweaters do not pill as much, and I do not want really pilly sweater, because it takes a lot of energy to try to keep pilling sweaters look nice. Another thing I bought while visiting Knitting for Olive store before my trip was these 2.5mm needles, sock needles set for myself. I bought it because I only have 2mm or 3mm needles, and I decided for the trip to pick up this one too, only if I decide that knit socks 10mm needles are way too tight, so I can go up needle size. So to have it, and for traveling I always take only wooden needles, because then I believe that no airport security can take them out from me, and I feel with metal needles it could be just more they can be more picky, because like, I don't know, maybe it is good for stabbing too, I don't know, never tried it. So yeah, I always traveling with wooden ones, because of the, I feel like wooden ones have to go through security easily. So I bought these, but I didn't use them, so I cannot comment on if they're good or not. And I think the last segment could be that I am a trash collector. So, or not trash collector, but one of the things was when my boyfriend finished his PhD, so he got gifts and he got mints. So I decided this mint box will be really good for needles, but I still didn't eat all the mints inside. But this is my future needle case. I think this is really beautiful design, really practical, as I said, collecting boxes and repurposing them. And another thing was that once in our office we got candies in this jar. And of course in 2-3 days everyone eat all the candies inside of it. And I was looking into the jar for all these days, and I was just thinking that I want to pick up this jar and bring it home. And but what I would put in it? I cannot just bring trash home. Everything has to have purpose if it is coming inside home. I just really want to take this home. But it is a trash if you don't have what to put into it. And then I decided that it would be really fun and beautiful. It can be even like decoration piece if I would add my yarn leftovers. These are not all yarn leftovers I own, and at first I was thinking just putting one type of yarn in one jar, or at least divide the cotton yarns and then woolen yarns or something like that, because if it is the same thing, then you can see how much you have and maybe create something from your like leftover yarns, or do the scrappy project when it is gets starting full. But yeah, for now, just even today I just brought those Filcolana leftovers into this box, and yeah, with hand-dyed skein, my black sweater leftovers. And I think all other yarn is the same superwash. Yes. Oh, yes. I didn't say that it was. My top was superwash wool. Drops, extra fine, Merino Extra Fine superwash 100% wool. I bought this for the baby's gift knit because it is soft, and I hope that for the parents it would be easier to wash, but I really love this color, so I really want it. And in a way I'm trying it out. Do I like it to wear it myself too? The superwash yarn. So I think that most of this yarn, because I was planning to also this year for the gift knitting, maybe the next episode will be about the gift knitting, because I need to order some yarn for gift knitting. So I promised my mom until Christmas to knit for her sofa, because she has a sofa but hair pillows getting, it is like sofa attached hair pillows, like, oh, I don't know how to say the shape. It is like a roll. So and it was like probably fake leather, and that fake leather is going off, so she wants to put something on top of it, and since it is such a strange shape, you cannot find that easily. And I said to her that I can make for her for something, and she was saying, can I sew it? And I said, but look at this boucle yarn, you don't see the stitches. And then she says, yes, that's what I want. And now she's asking me when I will make them. So the plan is to make 3 of those. I have, I take a photos with measurements, so I should be fine of doing that. So yeah, crochet or knit. So I need to buy some boucle yarn for it, and I will re-ask the color, but I think it will be, again, I think the sofa is beige and brown, so something in those colors. And I have no idea how much yarn I will need, especially if I am crocheting it, because I knit way much more than crochet. So that is always a surprise. I think that crochet takes a bit more yarn than knitting fabric for the same size. Then I want to knit for my 2 cousins' babies, which are, I think, will be 1 year and something months, both of them. For this winter I'm planning to knit maybe bird sweaters by Knitting for Olive. I think that's a really beautiful design. So I should buy some yarn too, and I was thinking to knit with the same superwash yarn, so this is why I am collecting those scraps, because I think then you have more and more leftovers, and then you can create something from those leftovers too, because I think, was it Petit Knit also has like simple circular yoke, I think, kid sweater with different strands of color, which could be fun, to use up if I have some leftover yarn. That would be really fun project too. Something like that in the future, if I have way more, or just collect colorful scraps of the same yarn, so then I can do more color work sweaters like bird sweater, and I think Olive has now also with the tractor, or do something like I saw in the Garn's Scandinavian yarn shops some colorwork sweaters. It could be like sea themed or zoo themed or whatever. So just if I have more color leftovers, even the bigger balls, then I can, you know, try to improvise something like that. If it is, you know, not the right gauge, calculate for the right gauge. So if my yarn is too thick, then maybe select a smaller size, and then, you know, it should turn out as a bigger sweater for a bigger kid or something like that. So just have fun with colors, so then it have, you know, designated place. But yeah, I still feel really I would not throw away this one, even as a big I feel for what I want to, and I don't know if I will use it, because I think another year that I want also sock. As I said, I want colorful socks, so I was thinking, oh, if I will not use up all purple yarn, and most likely not, I think it's quite a normal amount left. I don't think that I heavily used it, and I don't want my socks go way too up, because I don't know how to increase in the stitch pattern unnoticeably. So I think then I need, you know, normal length size, so maybe I will have purple sock yarn leftovers. Now I have, you know, a bit of beige, a bit of purple, so if I collect those, then it could be like fun colorwork sock project too, you know, not buy every single color for some project, but use up leftovers. So for that you need to collect leftovers, and collect leftovers in a beautiful box. This is why I call myself a trash collector. I was not able to allow this to throw out, and I'm still hoping that we will get more candies, and then I get more boxes of this, and then I accidentally can make a new collection. Like, one could be like for summer yarns, one could be like for, you know, cute colorful knitting, and that's one for the sock knitting maybe, and then like one for all other leftovers, which is way too excessive, I know. I think this would be enough, but I think that, I don't know, it's like I would need to reball those for a little better. I don't know. But yeah, that's it for what I have to show to you, talk to you. I hope you enjoyed watching with me, spending a little time with me. I hope to see you in the future. Have a nice day. Bye!